What's up? Welcome back. We are back at HQ. I have to excuse the voice here. I'm getting over COVID. So it shot me down from fishing the entire last week, but I didn't miss too much because we had terrible winds out here to get out on Lake Michigan. It's been a very tough spring to start with just excessively high winds like daily. So it's been very few days to get out there on a kayak for sure, and even a few days for small boaters. So it's been tough to get out there. However, yesterday and today did trips on boats, doing collaborations with other YouTube creators, and doing a shop video this morning. Looking forward to getting out in the kayak this week though. Anyway, enough of the rambling. The reason we're here today is I'm taking the time to reset lines, change leaders out, get ready, especially because I don't think it'll be too long before kings start roaming in our area. It's my suspicion. So I want to make sure I have my lines good to go, leaders retied and everything. So, you know, the coho are a little bit more forgiving, but if you get yourself a spring king on, if your stuff isn't good to go, you got nicks in your leader line or snaps ain't up to par, they're gonna break them up and you're gonna lose those fish. So I did that, and the rest of this, and while we're here, is because I want to go through, just got a care package in from Okuma. And full disclaimer, I am an Okuma influencer, part of the influencer team. That being said, I've been using their products, and you guys have seen this stuff in my videos long before I even developed a relationship with them. So it's really great, and I want to walk you through the rods here, in particular. For kayak guys, I think that there's great options out here for you that I've been running all of last year, and this will be my second year running these rods. And I want to walk you through what I'm running and how I'm using them on the kayak, you know, as far as like what rod they're going to be on the kayak here. Because a lot of guys right now will use some of the Okuma rods, like the lead core copper rod, some of the other series rods that they have that are typically used on the boats. And while they'll get the job done, and many of them, I mean, they're like $40 rods, $50 rods. I get you can't beat the price on that, but where I feel guys in the kayak are missing the ball, or at least not maximizing the opportunity they have because you're in the kayak here, is that you can get some of these other Okuma rods that I'm running that are more in line with like what you would use for like bass fishing. The blanks are thinner, lighter, and man, you feel the fight with coho and kings and browns and Lakers. It is significantly increased just my experience on the water. So let's dive into it. We've got the box open here. We've got a couple of different rods. I'm gonna pull them out, chuck the box, and walk you through what I got and why I have it here. So let's lay them out. A little bit of everything. Oh, let's not break them before we even get to fish them. All right, so we're gonna start off here. This looks like, yep, this is the Okuma, SST series mag taper rod. And this right here, this rod right here, if you're in a kayak, this rod right here will carry you like 80% of the season. So this rod right here is the Okuma SST. It's specifically the mag taper. So each rod within the SST Okuma series has like a different kind of a name. This one right here is a 7'10" rod. Let me explain why this rod will take care of 80% of your fishing on the kayak on Lake Michigan. And what's great about this is it also will carry you well if you do walleye fishing and stuff. But this SST rod's carbon fiber handle, front and back. First, you feel everything. You see the vibrations. If you're pulling Dodgers, you know, the rotation, the rod pumping, you'll see all of it. And you'll feel it all the way down through the handle. You've got a thin blank, and it's got a lot of play up top, right? Which I really, really like. So this allows you to really feel the fight. Up top, that's the fun part. You know, when you're feeling them hitting hard, head shakes, twisting, spinning in the water, you're feeling everything with this sensitivity up front. Very, very just flexible, and you feel it. However, the business end, and as thin as it is, this thing holds well, very well. You've seen it in my videos with kings in the fall. This has really changed the game for me on the kayak. This rod right here, I'm running my coho rigs on it, flatline cranks spring in the fall for kings. The only thing that I do not use these rods for are for torpedoes, unless it's a smaller size torpedo. The 2-ouncer, maybe the 4-ounce at that. More than 4, I won't do it because it's just too much on the bend and stressing the rod. But if you're going light line, if you want to do some little snap weights, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, this can handle it. So this can do you well. Keel weights with your Coho Dodger flies, beautiful, love it. This rod right here, Okuma SST mag taper, is the one I cannot recommend you enough. You will feel the difference when you fight these fish. All right, they hold up very well. I'm going on season 2 with the ones are right there. I'm using these. These are backups. I ordered some backups from them to make sure I got, in case anything goes wrong this season, I got them ready to go. The ones from last year are still perfectly fine as long as you take care of them. I didn't have any issues with any breakages or anything like that. So the Okuma SST mag taper, this is the deal for you in the kayak for 80% of your fishing, spring and fall. Now, when we get into summertime, we're gonna get this guy out here. Something that isn't really been talked about enough. Went through the Okuma catalog and I was looking, like, I wanted to find something that was really gonna hold up and be like the summertime deep water salmon trolling rod for me in the kayak. And I went through quite a few of the different rods that they offer in their vast line of rods. And I came across and pulled the trigger on this one. This is the Okuma Guide Select Pro. Let me tell you about this one. This is the 8'2", medium heavy, fast action. Like I said, Guide Select Pro Okuma. Very comparable to the SST in that you got carbon fiber handles, front and back. The blank is remarkably similar to the SST in terms of how thin it is. Maybe it's a little bit thicker, but where this thing really carries in its own lane here for summertime fishing is that it's stiff. It's stiff. It doesn't have that same wobbliness, right? This rod is a lot more stiffer, which allows you to put up a lot of weight to hold it on here. Now this thing is rated up to 5 ounces. I run the 12-ounce torpedoes. I even have a 16-ounce round ball weight that I would use as well. And this thing holds it up. Maybe the first third of the rod kind of bends into the water and more than half of this rod still sticks out straight in the rod holder. It holds those heavy weights when you're dropping deep into the water for those salmon when they're down deeper, thermocline's down deeper, holds it up well. And this thing has won me over. Now, this rod is a lot more expensive than the SST. I want to say it's in the 180 range. I look at it like this: for those that are doing summertime fishing, it takes a lot more work. You need the right tools to be successful, to drop down there, to hold the weight, to not only hold the weight, to drop it down, your flasher fly, whatever you're putting down there, spoons, but you also need it to then hold on to the fish that's on the tail end of it all and winch it all in. And this thing is the rod for me. I absolutely love the Guide Select Pro. Highly recommend it. This 8'2", medium heavy action, fast action, medium heavy power, excuse me. And again, it's rated for 1/2 to 5 ounce weights, but I've tested it and it can hold 12 and 16 ounce weights and hold it very well in the rod holder. The little thing that I do in the rod holder when I'm doing that is I'll angle the rod holder just a little bit up to compensate for the little bit of the bend that's gonna go down there so that my rod tip doesn't drag into the water. Other than that, it holds it beautifully and it's so light. Again, it's so light. Why do I keep harping on that point? Well, you're in the kayak. Like, why not take advantage of the fact that you can fight these fish with lighter gear, not as big and stiff as a rod as some of the other rods that guys typically use in the boats. You could take advantage of running these lighter rods. These rods typically run by the West Coast guys when I was doing my research and used it on their boats for their salmon. And that's what made me want to give it a shot for our side. And again, I can report back that in the summertime, this is the rod that I have set up I'm using for torpedoes or any kind of heavy weights to send it down to the depths. I'm using this one. This is also the same rod that I'll use for my SWR rig. So I have my 2-color rod over there with a cold water, and is this very rod there. And so in the spring, I'll run it just with the 2 colors. And then as we start working deeper, I'll put it on either the downrigger or a torpedo, and it'll be like my SWR setup there. Again, that rod is able to hold that weight on there. And these two rods are the only two rods that I now use on my kayak. Day in, day out when I'm out there, it's either the SST, depending on the time of the year, you know, spring, fall. And then once we start fishing deeper in the water, I need to put some weight out, then we're going to the Guide Select Pros here. Really, really can't recommend them enough for you that are looking to, again, really get the most out of your experience out in the water by really feeling the fight. You know, you're feeling it in the kayak, but, you know, feeling it through the rod. You feel every shake, movement that fish makes in the water because of the carbon fiber grips and the handles on here. And they've held up well. One area that I really like is, and we all know this, right? I don't like cork rods or foam rods because when you touch fish, you touch guts, you get blood on you. The minute you touch that stuff, it soaks into the cork or it gets into the foam and it smells all the time. The carbon fiber, I get hands all messy, slimy, touch it, whatever, rinse it off, and it doesn't stick on. It doesn't linger, the smell. So for those of you that care about that stuff, just something else I thought I'd mention as well. So those are the two rods we got here. I think I didn't order anything else. Those are the two main, yeah, those are the two main rods. And then we also, of course, new reels for the year. I've downsized even more, going to 153s for most of my rods. For spring and fall rods, they're gonna get the 153 with 20-pound braid. And I am running the 203, the one size above. That's now gone and become more of my deeper rods, or my lead cores are now on those. The reality is I'm never getting spooled. And for years I've ran the 353 and the 203. Now I've dropped down each level, and so you can even go down, and again, it's easier to grip. It's a smaller profile in your hand, and you're not gonna have to worry about getting spooled, to be quite honest with you. So we're gonna pair up the 153s on the SSTs. We've got the 203s are gonna go on the Guide Select Pros for the summertime stuff. And that is what we got here from Okuma. Just wanted to take a moment to share with you what I'm running, how I'm running it, why I'm running it. And for those that are in the market to step things up, you know, maybe want to take things up to another level. I think the only other consideration outside of that is, yes, they are going to be a little bit more money than some of the other rods you can get and use in the kayak. And if there is always the possibility of tipping and dumping your stuff, but you should always want to leash your stuff to help prevent that, regardless of the price point or whatever rod or reel you have or that you're using. So, you know, leash your stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, just overall, really great setups that I would definitely recommend to you if you're looking to upgrade your stuff and take things to the next level. So if you have any questions about any of the stuff I just kind of talked about right here, any more details on the setups, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll link to all these various products so you can get read up more information about it if you want, and everything down in the description below. And look forward to showing you guys this on the water in the next video. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.